So this is gonna be my first impression of the new 5-star legendary gem. We will be trying out its mechanic and see how it works. It will not be the final verdict, but my hands-on first impression of the new legendary gem and my thoughts about that. If we go take a look at this new 5-star legendary gem, even at rank 1, it seems to be somewhat really good. Your critical hit causes you to enter a blood rage for 6 seconds, increasing your damage done by 9%. That damage increase is pretty decent, and your critical hit damage increased by 18%. Again, at rank 1, that is quite a lot of power from a 5-star gem. And then, of course, at rank 3, you gain 1% increased critical hit chance for each nearby bleeding enemy up to a maximum of 4%. It will be interesting to see if this critical hit chance stack with Rolling Consequence and Mother Lament, but honestly, if your base critical hit chance is somewhat at 30% and you have around the rank 6 Rolling Consequence, I will not recommend using Mother Lament on the top of that, especially if this will stack as well. And having a 30% base critical hit chance on your character is going to be important because this gem will only be getting triggered if you have if you hit the enemy with the critical hit chance. So base critical hit chance will be important, and then on the top of that you can add a Rolling Consequence or Mother Lament, and it will trigger pretty easily. But since I don't have any copies of this gem just yet, I will be using the trial that is going to be at rank 10. It will not give us any resonance, but we will able to see if the critical hit chance stack with the Rolling Consequence and if the bleeding stack with the everlasting as well. And this at rank 10 is going to be 20% all damage increase, 40% critical hit damage. We're going to see if it stack properly with our other stats, like how much critical hit damage we can get, and then of course we will try and see if this critical hit chance we can get as well, or stack with the everlasting. And again, this is gonna be the first impression and not the final verdict. All right, so let's go activate this, and I'll see you guys in a sec at the training dummy. So currently the gem is active. All we have to do is click here under the avatar and we can go down there and we can see the blood flow is active. And again, this is going to be at rank 10. I'll try and see if this gem duration can be extended with Virtus Urges. Right now I am equipped with 2-piece Virtus. I have bunch of beneficial duration, and of course I end up removing every single gem from my socket. So we're gonna see how the bleeding looks when we get a critical hit chance and if the duration of the gem can be extended. So there we go. Yep, it seems like we can extend the duration of blood flow. So good to see it is indeed working with the beneficial duration, and it is working with the Virtus Urges. I will try and use that once more, and then we're gonna try and see the synergies with some of the other gems. So again, here we go. 12 seconds, you guys saw I had 12-second duration on the blood flow. That is freaking fantastic, and we can see it is also giving that bleeding. So the next thing that we will be like checking on this dummy, it is gonna be the bleeding. So let me quickly put this here, and there we go. We can see an icon of the gem on the dummy that the dummy is keep on bleeding. It just keep on bleeding. The bleed just keep on resetting on the dummy. That's freaking insane. That is freaking insane. Wow, alright, that is freaking insane. It kept on resetting the bleeding when we were hitting the dummy. That is freaking insane. Pretty good. And now what we're gonna do is check the critical hit, the amount of critical hit chance that we have. It is 30%, and when I will bleed this enemy, I will be gaining let me see how much it was. 16%. and we will be getting about 4% critical hit chance increase for one enemy. So there we go. Are we getting that? Are we? I'm not seeing any critical hit chance being added. What is that? Did we get the critical hit damage? You know what we need to see? We need to see the amount of critical hit damage we have. I have about 28% critical hit damage at the moment and 30% critical hit chance. So let me do that. I think the enemy is bleeding, and it doesn't say that I am gaining critical hit damage or the critical hit chance. Either it is bugged or it is not working against the training dummy. So I just enter Elder Rift, and again my critical hit damage or critical hit chance, you can see 30% base and 28% critical hit damage. I'm gonna try and hit some enemies, and then we will see the amount of critical hit chance that we get. All right, come on, come on. What is happening, guys? It is not showing. I'm not sure what is happening. Quite sure it is happening. There we go. I saw the critical hit chance, but still not seeing any critical hit damage being added here. Now I'm inside of a dungeon. Again, it is working. I will try and do this. Let's see. I am getting critical hit chance, but it is not showing that I am gaining any critical hit damage. So maybe it is a bug with a trial, at least that is what it seems like. But let's go back to training dummy. Again, you guys can see I have about 28% critical hit damage, and I keep hitting this critical hit damage doesn't go up. I'm not sure. Maybe it is because it is a trial gem. But please let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have seen if it does go up. And next, what we're gonna do is try everlasting and see if both bleeding work on the top of one another. So both will get trigger. And yeah, it seems like both bleeding are working. I saw an icon of a everlasting, and I saw an icon for the blood flow as well. Blood flow just keep on resetting. Now I'm inside of a challenge dungeon. Want to see the amount of critical hit chance we can get with the everlasting here. So let's see. We do that, and we don't get any critical hit chance, boys. There we go. Now we are getting 46% critical hit chance with this gem being active. Next, we're gonna try and see if we can push the critical hit chance more than 46% using the rolling consequence. So we go back inside of a challenge dungeon, and let's see if they stack on top of one another. Hopefully that is gonna be enough. And yes, they do stack. And this critical hit damage, let's go read the description of the gem again, how the critical hit damage work. So your critical hit causes you to enter blood rage for 6 seconds, increasing your damage done by 20% and your critical hit damage by 40% while blood rage is active. Your critical hit also rend flesh enemies to bleed for additional 10%. So not sure what is happening. Is this a separate critical hit damage that only works with a critical hit, or it is a critical hit damage that gets added to your character once the gem is active? Now and this needs some confirmation, maybe because this is a trial, it isn't working properly. But let me know in the comment section down below, especially if you guys have obtained a gem and not using a trial. Let me know if the critical hit damage is getting added to your stats here in the character. But that is the first impression here. Pretty solid. Other than critical hit damage, the bleeding can reset, the gem duration can be extended, it can be stacked with everlasting. Both bleeding works individually. It can be stacked with rolling consequence. Both rolling consequence, critical hit chance, and the blood flow critical hit chance does add on top of your base critical hit chance. And other than the critical hit damage not being shown here, everything else being looking really good. But that is the first impression. Like I said at the very start of the video, this is not the final verdict. I will be doing the final verdict when I craft my own gem, upgrade it, test it in PvE and PvP. Then I will be doing different series for that, of course, and then I will be sharing my final verdict. But for now, a really powerful gem, among one of the best 5-star gems out there. Just need to confirm how that critical hit damage works. I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have an excellent day. Take care.